It was just another day in the slums. Dusty roads, torn slippers, and empty stomachs. But for 11-year-old Adi, it turned into a day that would change his life forever. Because one small act of honesty, returning a lost phone, would set off a chain reaction he never saw coming. And weeks later, when a mysterious black car pulled up outside his tiny shack, everyone in the neighborhood froze. No one knew what was coming, but they were about to find out. This is the story of the most honest kid in the world. Section 1. The Phone in the Gutter. Adi lived in a one-room shack with his mother and little sister on the edge of the city. His days were filled with chores, hunger, and the endless blue sky above the slums where he lived. To help his mom, he sold balloons near traffic lights, making enough money sometimes for a single meal. That morning, as he walked past a luxury hotel, something shiny caught his eye near the drain. It was a phone. Not just any phone, but the kind that cost more than what his family earned in a year. For a moment, he stared at it. His heart raced. He could sell it. Feed his family for a month. Maybe more. But something inside him said no. So he turned around and walked straight into the hotel. He was met by two stern-looking men. They were the guards. They stopped him instantly. Dirty clothes, no shoes, carrying a phone. They thought he stole it. "Please," he said softly. "Someone dropped this outside." But they didn't listen. They started to scold him. Just then, a voice echoed from behind them. "What's going on here?" A tall man in a dark suit approached. He was the hotel guest who had just checked out and realized his phone was missing. It was his phone. The boy stretched out his hand silently. The businessman paused. He looked at the child, the dirt on his face, the honesty in his eyes. And then he did something nobody expected. He kneeled. "Thank you," he said sincerely. But Adi didn't want anything in return. He just smiled and walked away. Section 2. Facing the Guards. As he walked away, he heard the businessman talking to the guards. Something about an honest kid. Something about rewarding him. But Adi didn't care. He was scolded by his own people. "You could have sold it," they said. "We need food," they cried. "Why give it back?" they questioned. But Adi just said one thing. "It wasn't mine." His mother watched him from the corner, eyes filled with silent pride and pain, because she knew even honesty didn't fill hungry stomachs, but her son's integrity was something no poverty could touch. Meanwhile, the businessman was thinking, how could he reward the kid without finding him? It was impossible. Or so he thought. Section 3. The Boy Who Walked Away. 3 weeks passed. Adi's life went back to normal, selling balloons, hoping for tips, dreaming of a better life. Then, one evening, a sleek black car rolled down the dusty road of their slum. Everyone turned. Doors creaked open. Children ran behind it. The car stopped in front of Adi's shack. Out stepped the same businessman dressed in a crisp suit, but holding something unexpected in his hands, a school bag, a box, and legal papers. He looked at Adi and said, "You returned something valuable to me. Now I want to give something back." He handed the school bag to Adi. Inside books, a tablet, and a scholarship form. Then he turned to Adi's mother and said gently, "We are building a small learning center here, starting with your son." Before they left, the businessman told everyone he would be back. Then he drove away as fast as he came. That night, Adi didn't sleep, not because of hunger, but because he couldn't stop smiling. The businessman didn't just give him things. He gave him hope. Section 4. A New Beginning. Weeks later, the learning center opened with Adi's name on the board. The Adi Foundation. Honesty starts here. He became the first child in his area to go to school on a full scholarship. Other children followed, and every time someone asked why, the businessman said, "Because one little boy returned a phone when he could have kept it." As months turned into years, the slum changed. More kids went to school, more dreams took flight. And it all started with one boy's honesty. Now, whenever we meet someone new, we always ask ourselves, are they good or bad? Are they kind or selfish? Well, Adi showed us sometimes there isn't much difference between a rich man and a poor one. It all comes down to our choices. And that's exactly what this next story is about. This is the story of the richest man in the world, a man who chose honesty over wealth, leaving us all stunned. Section 5. Leave viewers inspired. In a bustling city, high above the noise and rush, lived a man named William Clark. He wasn't just any man. He was the CEO of a major company, an industry titan. But one day, while sorting through old files, he came across something that made him pause. It was an agreement from 1987. He signed it 6 months ago, agreeing to buy back shares from the public at a fair price. But he never did. Back then, it seemed like a harmless oversight. But now, years later, it was a serious breach of contract. His advisors argued against revealing it. "No one will ever find out," they said. "It'll ruin the company's reputation," they added. But William felt the weight of his integrity. He knew he had to come clean. So he called a press conference. Media flocked from all corners. Investors grew uneasy. And William, with his wife by his side, revealed the truth. He apologized, took responsibility, and offered to pay back more than what he owed. But here's the thing. He didn't have to do this. No one would have ever known if he'd kept quiet. Yet he chose honesty. Why? Well, for William, it wasn't just about the contract. It was about the principles he held dear. He wanted to live a life where honesty wasn't a slogan, but a way of living. And that's exactly what happened to William. He paid back more than he owed, faced the consequences, and moved forward. But here's the surprising part. Despite the scandal, his company thrived. Profits soared. Investors respected him more. Why? Because they saw something rare in him. A leader who, despite his wealth, chose honesty and integrity. So here's the takeaway. Being rich isn't just about money. It's about how we choose to live. William's story shows us that true wealth comes from living with honesty and integrity. And sometimes the hardest thing is not making a choice, but sticking to it. So let William's story be a reminder. No matter how much we have, how much we earn, or how powerful we become, it's our values that truly define us.